What's up, folks? Finally, another drum video. It's about time, huh? Let's have a look at the brand new Mjolnir Drums from Solemn Tones, alright? So, big thanks to Max for providing me with this review copy. I was super excited to have a look at these. Anyway, let's dive into the demo that I made using these drums and then have a look at the interface. As always, a quick overview of the store page. Very simple here. The main piece of information that I really wanted to share was that this is an entirely independent piece of software, meaning that you don't have to have Contact 5 to run it. I really wanted to show that, and I really wanted to point that out so that you knew right away that this is something that you could pick up even if you don't have Contact. So it has thousands of samples, directing room samples, and you'll see in just a second a very easy to understand interface. So that literally covers the store page. It's nice and simple, just the way I like it. So let's move into Studio One and have a look at the actual product. So great talent is the ability to create a seemingly simple product for something that would be rather complex, and that's the case for Mjolnir Drums. Starting with the presets, you can already get 90% of what you're looking for without having to tweak endlessly. Below, we have faders for the kick, snare, toms, and cymbals, as well as buttons to switch to the mixing or routing views, and a very handy humanize feature here that we're going to talk about in a second. So if we click the mixing button, we're going to see all the faders for all parts of the kit, including panning. Now, there's one particular feature that sets these drums apart, and that is the ability to adjust the room in each individual sample. This is a great tool because you have a lot of flexibility where you could dip out a touch of room in, for example, just the snare without having to actually pull down the overall room fader itself. This is very unique, and I don't really recall seeing this in other drum sampler products. Aside from that, we have an invert pan button, which will make it easy work of switching the panning perspective. So if you're not into the drummer's perspective, or you're not into audience perspective, or you're just curious what it might sound like, you can just click this button here, have a quick listen, and there you go. Clicking main view and then the routing button, we have the ability to route each part of the kit to a separate channel. In fact, there's a nice preset here, 12 stereo outs, that'll do the work for you. Not only that, every part of the kit can be customized to whatever MIDI note you prefer to use. From what I can tell, the numbers used here are mapped to general MIDI drums, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, you can change them if you prefer different mapping, so yay. And that's really all there is to it with this product and interface. This is very user-friendly, and the main thing is that it sounds good, truly, right away, and requires minimal editing and processing. Now, speaking of processing, let's go ahead and have a look at what I did. I'd like to note, right off the bat, that all the velocities are at 127, because I was very curious how the humanize feature would work. To my amazement, as I was working on this, I kind of forgot about velocities actually, because this is a real testament to how well the humanize feature works. To the degree for this style of music, I actually probably wouldn't really do anything else to the velocities here. You know, for this particular song, this particular genre. Obviously, if I had more dynamic snare rolls or things like that, I would tweak them accordingly. But for this track, I'm fairly happy with how it is now, and, you know, thumbs up for the humanize knob. As for processing itself, nothing out of the ordinary whatsoever. With the kick, I added a little bit of 8K for click, 3K for slap, dug out some 800 as you'll pretty much always be doing. I have a transient designer adding some more oomph and a clipper, and obviously I forgot to mention that there's a little bit of a 60 hertz boost here. Snare is pretty much the same. I have the FS Stress, which is based on the Distressor. It's a great compressor, by the way. And JST Clip. Also added a bit of a snare plate on here. Toms, same thing. Taking out mids, putting the clipper on. Also using the same plate that I used on the snare. It helps glue the toms and the snare together like they're in the same space. With the rooms, I took out the low end, a bit of the high mids, slapped on the CLA 76, and bada bing, bada boom. Processing in general is very quick. The drums themselves are very well recorded and are quite mixed, ready to go right out of the box, as I mentioned. So that really does it for this video, guys. Solemn Tones has a great modern metal product here. And if this is the kind of sound that you're going for, the kind of modern metal drums that you're really going for, you really might want to consider picking these up. There's a deal going on right now because he just launched these, so there's a bit of a sale. Now, if you're watching this video later on in the future and there's no sale, sorry about that. But there is a deal going on right now, so now would be the time to pick up these drums if this is what you're into. Huge thanks again to Max for providing this review copy. Super appreciated. Really love the drums. Honestly, really, I will be using these quite extensively for my own personal music. Thanks a lot for checking out the video, guys. Have a good one.